Famidaily might be winding down, but it's a big milestone this time. It's the 10th Binaryversary. 1,000 episodes? Get out of here. You really know you've reached a milestone when you roll over your base 2 numbers. And it's episode 1K. Why, we're at half the amount of RAM that the Famicom has. 2 to the 10th is an important number in tech. The rather convenient convergence of the computer's binary with the human base 10. I'm a little disappointed it has to squeeze in between reaching 4 digits and ending the project in a little bit more than 2 weeks. It takes away a bit of the specialness. 1024 is a cool number. Yes, some numbers are cool. And we're celebrating this Binaryversary with Tetris Flash. The previous 3 Tetris games on the Famicom, yes, Hatris counts, were all published by Bulletproof Software. In one of the more amazing swings in video game history, Hank Rogers managed to lock up the rights to console versions of Tetris, and that led to Nintendo working with Bulletproof Software for the Game Boy and NES versions. Well, it's now 5 years later, and the landscape has shifted quite a bit. There was a lot more flexibility in licensing the Tetris name, and Nintendo started going right to the source. Though rather than just make another line-clearing game, they decided to go with the other major style of piece-dropping puzzle games, matching colors. When you play Tetris Flash, the world will already be populated by some squares of 3 different colors that have dots in them. Those spots are nailed in place. They'll hover there, supporting any bricks that land on them. And speaking of those bricks, Tetris Flash has abandoned the tetrominos. Now, some of the pieces that fall will be separated, and when they start dropping, they're locked together in the rotation, which is still done using A and B, but when one disconnected part touches down, the rest are free to move and rotate on their own. It makes it really easy to get those pieces where you want them to go. To get rid of pieces, you have to get 3 of the same color in a row. I'll point out here that there's only 3 colors, and pieces drop 4 at a time. That makes Tetris Flash terminally easy. The way the math and the geometry work, unless you are doing something weird, you'll always have the opportunity to wipe out some blocks every time a piece drops. I suppose you'd lose if the stack ever reaches the top, but every time I play, I get bored and give up before I reach that point. Every stage in Tetris Flash has 3 flashing bricks, 1 for each color. When these bricks are erased, they take all of the pinned bricks of that color with them. And so when all 3 flashing bricks are gone, the stage is over. Because the distribution of bricks on stages is random, you could get those flashing bricks in positions where you could immediately bomb them and end the stage in seconds, or they could be walled up in a corner behind a lot of other bricks that you'll have to slowly work your way through. Not that it's hard to work your way through it, just that it might take you some time. When you press start on the title screen, you can choose to begin playing from any stage up to level 30, but the game keeps going on past that. You'll get a reward cutscene for every 10 stages that you beat, but that's really all that's going on here. There's a competitive mode in Tetris Flash. In this mode, every time you clear away one of the fixed blocks, the height of the well on the other side shrinks a little bit. And the first person to get rid of all of their flash blocks wins. You can play this mode against a computer or another human. I'm a little surprised at how little of a reaction that Tetris Flash gets from Famicom fans. This was at least a big release from Nintendo that came out on multiple platforms, but it seems like the Famicom version was the popular one, and by popular, I mean next to no one remembers it instead of no one remembers it. Even for 1993, Tetris Flash is not an impressive game. Sega was already taking on the 3 in a row concept with the Columns series, and the popularity of Puyo Puyo seems to be more of a direct inspiration here, and in both of those cases, Tetris Flash doesn't match up. Since you're only allowed to put things in horizontal and vertical rows, the stages aren't as dynamic as either of those. And the block elimination, which is taken straight out of Dr. Mario, loses a lot of its strength when there's 3 blocks that are better than the other ones to remove. And the split tetronimos wind up making an already simple game even simpler. If you didn't have any other puzzle games on the Famicom to play, then I guess Tetris Flash is okay. But there's a lot of games that do the same thing that Tetris Flash did, but better. Play one of those instead.